Room number 4, Bill Callahan.
My job was to pick the place where Susan and I were going to spend our wedding night. Our first night together as husband and wife. So I immediately began researching all the places we could stay in the Boston area. And I finally settled on the Sherborne Inn in Sherborne, Massachusetts. I picked the Sherborne Inn because, one, it was romantic. Come on. Built in 1750, fireplaces in all the rooms. I could see the logs burning. I could hear the crackle and pop. This place was romantic. Second, it was private. It only had 4 rooms in the entire place. I didn't have to worry about college kids streaking up and down the hallway, banging on doors. I wanted no interruptions that night. 3, I picked the place because it was luxurious, but not too luxurious. I mean, there was no fitness room, no spa services. I didn't have to worry about Susan wanting to get a late night pedicure or nails done. I wanted her paying attention to me on my wedding night. So as soon as I figured all this out, I called him up. I said, "I'm Bill Callahan, I'm getting married on March 31st. I want your best room, your very best room." And the woman who answered the phone said, "Room number 4. That's where I spent my wedding." So there's the endorsement. I wrote the check out, I mailed it in, and for the next 6 months, I regularly fantasized about room 4. I was Cary Grant, you know Cary Grant? Irresistible, debonair. What woman would not want to be in the bedroom with Cary Grant? I knew my wife. And I was James Bond. You've heard about James Bond, right? He's armed, dangerous, and very sexy. All the Bond girls, they melted in his arms. I wanted Susan to melt in my arms. And of course, I was Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger, 25 years ago, he was tireless and entertaining, but he went all night long. I wanted to have the stamina of Mick Jagger. I couldn't wait for my wedding night. Fast forward 6 months, at 4 o'clock, we got married. At 5 o'clock, we were at the reception, and I greeted our guests, drank toasts. We did a little dancing. I looked at my watch. Susan and I hopped in the car, and we're driving to the Sherborne Inn. And I look in the rearview mirror, and in the back seat are Cary Grant, Mick Jagger, and James Bond. And they're all high-fiving each other. They're giving me the thumbs up. They knew where we were going. I gave them a wink, put my foot on the gas. We all got out of the car. We went up to the front desk, and there was a 16-year-old behind the desk. I said, "I'm Bill Callahan. I'd like the key to room 4. He said, "Mr. Callahan, we have you in room 3 tonight." He holds up the key to room 3. I said, "No, it was a mistake. I ordered room 4. We reserved room 4. I'd like the key to room 4, please." I said, "Mr. Callahan, somebody else is in room 4. We have you in room 3. You know, my heart started to race, my breath got short. My wife could obviously see I was about to have a meltdown, and wisely, she took the key from the kid's hand, and she grabbed my hand, and we went off to room 3. Now, room 3 was nice. Room 3 was nice, but it wasn't room 4. Mick Jagger, Cary Grant, James Bond, they were nowhere to be seen, but they were in my head. They kept saying, "Bill, Who's in room 4? That's our room. And Bill, what's room 4 like? This is room 3. So Bill, why aren't we in room 4? Well, I couldn't sleep. I tossed and turned. I didn't want to wake up Susan next to me. So I got up, got dressed, and I went out in the hallway. I wanted to find room 4. I wanted to see who was in room 4. I wanted to disrupt their night like they had disrupted. My plan was, I was going to tiptoe out there, bang on the door, and then run back into room 3 and get into bed. So I'm out there, just about to bang on the door, and Susan opens up the door and says, Bill, Bill, what are you doing? And at that moment, I realized how foolish I had been behaving. So I went back into room 3. I got into bed. I held my wife. And the voices in my head disappeared. We had to get up early the next morning to catch a plane. We never got to see room 4, or fortunately, we never got to see who was in room 4, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm also very grateful for the 2 lessons I really learned that night. And the first one is, don't ever, ever let those little disappointments in life prevent you from really experiencing life. Enjoying that moment, celebrating that moment. And secondly, if you're ever in a car and you look in the rearview mirror and you see Mick Jagger, James Bond, or Cary Grant, pull over, because you shouldn't be driving.